Hello everyone, this is Pikmin Master, and yeah. Okay, so if you're wondering why I'm uploading this, okay, so here's what you need to know, right? So last time I made a video with My Little Pony was, what, 2014, like 4 years ago. And it was around that time was that I kind of want to fell out of the show because I kind of fell out of, television shows for the longest time. So, yeah, and I just stopped watching. So recently, I decided, you know what, let's go to Netflix. My bro has a Netflix account. I saw all that stuff, and turns out that My Little Pony was in there. And thinking, maybe now's a good time to catch up My Little Pony. Because I still liked the show. It just, fell out of it. So, unlike Adventure Time or regular show, that just forgot where I left off. And I just forget it. I'm not going to go back there. But I'm going to catch up on My Little Pony. So I saw all season 5 and all season 6 at this point. Now, I don't remember when I started watching season 5, but I know I remember part of watching season 5 when I was in Alondra's place. If you don't know who Alondra is, if you go to the previous, couple of comment times, she was featured in there. She's one of my cousins. So I saw a bit of season 5 there, but that was a long time ago. So, after watching season 6, I'm thinking, maybe I should make videos about this again. Because, I kind of want to talk about Little Pony again. Just so I can get it over with. I already did the first 4, might as well do the rest of it. So I'm doing it for season 5 now. Yes, I know, we're 2018. Season 8's a thing. I didn't even see it was even a season, freaking 6. So, season 8, holy crud. And we've got a whole movie, some more Equestria Girls nonsense. Just, what the heck? Let's go to season 5, finally. Season 5. Now, again, I said before, after watching season 6, I forgot what most of season 5 was like. So it's really hard for me to actually do this video. Otherwise, this video would have been done by now. So, I went back to Netflix, see several episodes of season 5 for this video. I didn't see every episode of season 5, so I may miss, a few things I probably should have put in, let's say, my least favorite moment. But, I think I'm going to have enough info for a good video. So, here we go, season 5. So, again, if you don't know what I'm doing here, I just just talking about my favorite episode, my least favorite episode, my favorite character, my least favorite character, my favorite song. I'm not doing my least favorite song because I'm not going back. My favorite moment, least favorite moment. So, that's what I'm going to talk about what my favorite stuff is for the fall season. So, let's begin. My favorite episode. Now, I have 2. But I'm not sure which one should be the favorite episode of the 2. Let's go start with Thanks for the Memories. Now, the good thing about this episode is, not exactly the episode itself. This episode is pretty good. That's why I'm putting it in for a reason. But, what this could also interpret could be, really good. I know, for the whole episode, that the whole thing is about Rainbow Dash trying to get into grips with, hey, her pet needs to sleep for the winter. That's kind of his thing. So she wants to have fun in the winter with her turtle Tank, or the tortoise, probably tortoise, but Tank. And she just tries to make her stay awake for the whole time so she can do some cool stuff. But the episode keeps going on though. The Tank is really needs to hibernate, and everyone's aware of it, especially Fluttershy. So nonsense ensues. We're trying to bust into Cloudsdale, trying to ruin everything, just so that there's no snow, just so there is sunlight everywhere, just so he can stay awake. But no, it ain't happening, and eventually, the end of the episode, she just accepts the fact that, Tanks needs to hibernate, so just let him hibernate. Now, this is why it's my favorite episode. Imagine if the episode was really about Tank dying. Now, if that was the theme of the episode, if Tank dies, at this episode, then holy Christ, this episode would have been, probably one of the best episodes of the series. Here's why. So, of course, death in the family is a thing. It is heartfelt. It is something serious that everyone has to eventually come to terms with. And this is a thing that always happens. So, if this episode, even just a pet dying, then especially a kid, then it's a really sad moment. So if this episode was about Tank dying, and Rainbow Dash tries to do her best to make sure she doesn't die, do whatever can, even like if it'll just like go to Cloudsdale, just like destroy everything, just like make sure that none of the snow comes down or whatever. Because like if Tank actually dies, then like the whole episode would be a lot more memorable. Because like you saw in the later episodes, he's still there. I mean, it's hibernation, just a one-time thing. But if it was about Tank dying, then the rest of the series would actually be affected by it. So you don't have to change the episode that much and still have it be about accepting death. Then the episode would be much better. It'll be like the potential for that specific episode would be immense. The episode would have been like more intense, but they didn't do it. And they probably could have done. I don't know if they could do it. If they could do it, then they'll probably be a lot more impacting as an episode and part of the series. But what stands now is just like a bit of filler about, hibernation. So that would have been the best. Probably would have been one of the best episodes of the entire series if Tank dies and Rainbow Dash has to like do whatever she can to not let that happen, eventually accepting it. That would be insane. And now another favorite episode is Slice of Life, which makes sense because it's the 100th episode of the show. Holy crap, 100 episodes of the show. And it's almost entirely about the side characters, even characters that only show up like as the background. And one of my favorite moments is like near the end of the episode. I'll mention that when I get to it. It was near the end of this video. But I like at the beginning of the episode was mostly about Doctor Who's. Now, when you're like, why is that important? Because like, my brother is currently watching Doctor Who, and he's been a big fan of it. I don't think he's that much of a big fan of Jodie Whittaker, and kind of a bad feeling that she might get like only 2 seasons. So due to the head writer probably not liking Doctor Who anymore. So, and this whole bowling scene, I think the Big Lebowski reference. I don't even know the name of it. I've never even seen it, but even I could tell what that reference is. And then but I think the whole like episode Slice of Life is just a bunch of really cool moments stitched together, with the whole theming about Cranky Matilda's wedding. But the rest of it just like lots of this moment that, and then Bon being like a secret agent, and Lyra being just super cute. Speaking of Lyra, I'm going to talk about Lyra later, but there's something about Lyra that just doesn't make any sense. But the thing is, like, the main characters are doing this one thing about this bugbear, while everyone else just does other things related to this wedding. And lots of side characters. And which leads into one of my favorite moments of the season. Okay, so that was my favorite. Those were 2 favorite episodes. My least favorite episode, I was going to say it is Brotherhood Social. It is almost my least favorite episode. And it probably should be my least favorite episode. But I kind of want to put something in my least favorite moment. Because the thing is, like, even though Brotherhood Social has easy potential to be my least favorite episode, but the problem is it has one of my favorite moments. And I don't think it deserves any least favorite thing that has any good moments to just be my least favorite. Nah. So I decided to put like what I don't like about Brotherhood Social, the last thing, the least favorite moment. So that leaves the Hookfields and McColts as my least favorite episode, because through the entirety of the entirety of this episode, I thought that I got this episode figured out immediately, because the episode sets up for this one thing that people expected to happen. For the 2 families to share. For the 2 families, the Hookfields with like their more agriculture-based society, and the McColts with the more builder, construction theme things. So I thought this expected them to go to share their talents, so to say, share their specialties. But what happened instead was that they still don't like each other, so they get this little fight, but the animals help out. And so what happens is, it does lead to that same conclusion. This thing, it leads to that conclusion I expected, but how they got there was sort of not what I expected. So it was a predictable ending, but the way to the predictable ending was different. I like the way they talked to get to that ending, because with the whole animals was like Fluttershy's there the whole time. Because I thought they're just gonna go, the two Fluttershy and Twilight just go talk to these two. Hey, you guys share, but no, it was done I think with the animals, because that's the other thing is have the animals there and then they share. It was because of the animals that they share, not like just share just because. So yeah, my least favorite episode is because it's so predictable. Now, my favorite character. Now, what I like to do my favorite character reveal is I like to keep it to that specific season. So, because when I did like a video of my favorite Pony characters, it was through seasons 1 to 3. So I kind of want to not talk about characters that are already in previous seasons, unless I really have to, if they're really like big changes. But I think I might say that for season 6 with the character I'm going to mention. But first, Coloratura for episode 24, the main attraction. Now, the reason why she's my favorite character is, one, I kind of don't particularly like Moon Dancer. It's kind of alright. I want to talk about Moon Dancer. But first, probably because Beatrice doesn't like this character, because I know it's pretty late in the season, but I kind of like, especially considering how it's like next to the ending of the season. But I think I like the quality of this character, especially considering, because like first of all, her design is pretty good, and like what the kind of character she is. She's a diva, however, like beneath the surface level diva, is actually a pretty nice pony that's friends with Applejack. And the resolution to her character is something I do like. So it went from like the diva stuff to like just a regular nice pony. And I think it makes sense. Especially considering my least favorite character. I'm gonna mention cut to my least favorite character because I'm gonna talk about Starlight Glimmer later. Is from that same episode, the manager, Sven Gallop. I don't like him. Not because because he's like the easily hated manager for the diva or like the pop star who just wants to do her own thing, but the manager says something different. But the reason why I don't like him is because I feel like when I saw this character, as the episode goes on, I remember this, because this is late in the season, I remember this. Early season, I don't. But when I was watching this, I was thinking to myself, wait a minute, this character doesn't even belong to this show. Here's the thing, right? So if you know what My Little Pony is, it's this, this kid's show. It's usually supposed to be a young girl show. Everyone in Equestria, this is super nice or has some sort of like weird quirk about them. But the kind of character that's more of a kind of a weird, like, I wouldn't say manipulative, but more like this very haughty, very self-centered control. It's like he's a control freak manager. I feel like it's kind of weird for the show. And yes, we just had the hosts and McCalls who were like the very like redneck, like super redneck. But I think it makes sense for the show, considering so supposedly the location is very very far away and very, I guess, very remote. So I guess it makes sense to have weird rednecks in there. But like this kind of manager thing, not even in like Manhattan. I don't think it kind of suddenly makes sense, especially considering Manhattan. But that's for next season, considering this like episode or two like makes me really don't like Canada a lot and Manhattan. But yeah, I feel like the character doesn't really belong to the show. But the thing is, like, this kind of person in real life, yeah, there are a lot of people like that in real life, like managers who abuse the crud out of their pop stars. But yeah, it gets this in real life, but in the shows, in the story. So I get the kind of message you're trying to go for, but I feel like for the purpose of the show, it just feels kind of weird. So anyway, that's that. Now before I go to the next session, I want to talk about Starlight Glimmer because this character is actually kind of a big deal, especially next season. Now, okay, so she's like the first boss and the final boss at the same time. It's really kind of cool because, like, when I saw that, oh, hey, she's back, like, wait, what? She's back? And especially with next season, the first episode next season, and I'm like, wait, she's what? I'm not gonna tell you what she's talking about next season. So, Starlight Glimmer. Now, but okay, I just want to get right down to this. Now, when I saw Starlight Glimmer, like initially the first episode, all I can think of is yeah, I immediately saw she's a freaking communist. I can't believe they're actually doing communism jokes in freaking My Little Pony. I don't know. I've not seen any, My Little Pony review, because I stopped watching My Little Pony reviewers because I didn't want to, get spoiled for other episodes, even though I'm probably not going to watch them much later. I thought, like, she doesn't equal son. She wants you to be exactly the same. She's a freaking communism theme. I just, like, that was my first thought. I have yet to check if any memes evolving freaking Stalin Glimmer in this. I'm probably gonna, if any exist, you should be put them over here. I want to see this. But I didn't expect her to be like the final boss. So when she showed up to be the final boss, I was like, oh snap! I remember this character. I can't believe she's the final boss. But the final boss, the episode itself, the final boss is time travel. But the cool part of time travel, so I'm not going to talk about the final episode at all, surprisingly enough. It's kind of whatever. But the final episode talks about as like a bit of alternate realities of what would happen if, the main six don't really get together. And it shows all sorts of different alternate presence, but alternate universes, and what would happen if, this event didn't happen, or that event didn't happen, or all the events all these events combined didn't happen. So it is pretty cool. I especially like the war one. Like, I think it was the first one. It was like everyone would be in a war. I don't know. I just really like that. I don't know why I like that one the most. I think this could set out for like future, like, maybe, I don't know if the comics are going to do this. Imagine if the comics actually talked about the alternate future, explored more of it. I don't know if they did. If they did, that's cool. I want to see it, but I don't know. Alright, so that's it. We'll talk about favorite characters and Starlight Glimmer. Now, favorite song. Now, for me, there's only one favorite song. And that one song is like a massive deal. And that is from episode 18, We Will Make Our Mark. Now, this is the thing, because this entire song, this entire episode, is like a culmination of everything related to the CMC. Everything. Because even the song itself, the visuals itself, they know this is a culmination of everything that's happened. Everything from the beginning to that point. Thinking season 5, like more than halfway into the show's current run, is when the CMC get their cutie marks. I thought they're going to get it a lot earlier. I thought they're going to get it like sometime in season 1 or 2. But no, season 5. But the song itself is really good, because, like, especially they know, like, it's been like a really long ride until that point. But it's on a freaking Diamond Tiara episode. The whole thing's the Diamond Tiara episode, but hey, this song is really good because it is like the resolution to the characters, especially going into their respective futures in later on this and next season. So, especially considering what they going to do. So, from what I've seen, this episode is a music-focused episode. Now, there are a couple of others. There is the final episode of season 3, which is probably my favorite episode, and with Pinkie Pride, which is my favorite episode of season 4. And each one of those has my favorite song out of that season. And this is a bit of an exception because the episode itself, Crusaders of the Lost Mark, nice title. It itself is fine, but it's not my favorite episode. But the song is my favorite. So I just like it because of the lore. Not to say lore, but I guess the lore and like the series itself, just leading up to this moment. Now, my favorite moment. Now, I have a few. Now, there are like a few good, absolutely top tier moments, but I'm gonna go it by episode order. Episode 9, Slice of Life. Now, there are two in that same episode. Like I said, this episode is just a bunch of good moments just stitched together with like a specific theme. My first is the Octavia and Vinyl moment. So those two together are probably one of my favorite couples in the series. Define it however you will. But like all of Vinyl Scratches and Octavia's section, all of it leading up to even Gummy's section where here's how it works, right? So Octavia is trying to, work up a song for the wedding, right? And then the DJ, Pone 3 or Vinyl Scratch, I don't know, I'm calling Vinyl from here on out. But she just thinking to herself, it's probably thinking to herself, no words, just, doing it with her, DJ mixer or whatever you call it, and just thinking of how to like incorporate her dubstep with her wedding song. Took a while, but they eventually got their remix that they wanted. And then realize, and Octavia's saying, oh no, we're late, we need to get going now. And then they bust out. And then just like go dubstep, classical, breaking, goes everywhere. It was so awesome. And then that happens. Meanwhile, there's like a part zooming to Gummy. Yes, Gummy, and has this. I forgot the what he said.
What is life? Is it nothing more than the endless search for a cutie mark? And what is a cutie mark but a constant reminder that we're all only one bugbear attack away from oblivion? And what of the poor gator, flank forever blank, destined to an existential swim down the river of life to an unknowable destiny?
But like it just that deep voice and how the whole existential it is, I guess. That is pretty dang good. Okay, and now the second moment, like I said before, this is the what I said before. The ending of that episode talks about we're talking about the wedding, the mayor, her speech, and how how the main characters of the story, they aren't just like everything. Like, yes, you have a story. The main characters aren't exactly everything. So what's also important is like the smaller characters, the background characters, even the scenery. They're important to make a story rich. Now that got me thinking a lot, because how important it is. Like, yeah, you can have a story, but like if you don't have like the background character, supporting cast, then the main character just main character. They're just characters. They're just whatever. So it's important to have these smaller characters, these background characters, to make a story whole, make a story better. That's what I do like about it. Because when I think about it, I really do like side characters. It's like it's usually like kind of odd for me to like a main character. I mean, heck, my favorite character is Princess Luna. She's totally a background character. Oh, not a background character, more like a minor character at best. Alright, next episode I'm going to mention is episode 13, To Princess's Dream of Magic Sheep, aka the Luna episode. So obviously with the Luna episode, it's bound to have something, but it ain't Luna, unfortunately. The Luna episode, and my favorite moment has nothing to do with Luna. It's Big Mac. Now, when everyone near the end of the episode, they go to a shared dream. So, sometime like early on in that shared dream, Big Mac is actually a unicorn. And I was thinking, oh yeah, Big Mac's a unicorn. And I didn't even realize it, that sometime next season, there's going to be like a section with also Big Mac as a unicorn. But I'm going to get to it when I get to it next season. I don't know if this is going to be in my favorite moment section, but I kind of want to talk about that. But he turns into a unicorn, and sometime later, he decides, Big Mac confirmed best princess. Big Mac's best princess. Without question. Like a boss. Sorry, I'm gonna say like a boss. I mean, Big Mac's one of my favorite characters, and he's a freaking boss. Next episode, as I mentioned, is Rarity Investigates, episode 15. And the main reason why this is a fair moment was more not exactly a fair moment, but it's more like a realization that something I forgot about Rarity. I forgot, I legit forgot this entire series, that Rarity's a freaking seductress. Seriously, if there was like a bigger Halloween episode, like with like any costume goes, Rarity would totally be a perfect succubus. What I'm referring to specifically is, well, first of all, several other times that Rarity was like, using her charms or her silver tongue to convince any male in their surroundings to just do whatever she wants. Even episode Princess Spike. But I'm talking about this one, with a scene where she talks to the royal guards about stuff they found in their investigations of how to clear Rainbow Dash's name of Cotton Spitfire to tail out of there for some like kind of useless so she could fly with like her idol Wind Rider.
Perhaps I should take it from here. You castle guards have such a difficult job. I'm guessing that at times it can be rather boring.
That scene is like I think the best part of that scene was she was in a love chair. She was in a love chair, just like for a hot second, and you has this pose that has this the drama like when your French girls pose. You know what I'm referring to? That pose in the love chair, or love seat, whatever. That was like, oh right, I forgot she's the seduction. I forgot that's her thing. Oh my goodness, I love that episode. Has a lot of focus on Rarity, just like using her silver tongue. There's a bit of cringe in that episode, but it's not that kind of cringe. What is that kind of cringe? Now, before I get to my last favorite moment, I need some context with my least favorite moment. Now, my least favorite moment. Now, yes, Rarity Investigates has some cringe on it. But if the entire middle of freaking episode 17 is cringe, then yeah, that's saying quite a bit. Episode 17, Brotherhood Social. I do not like this episode, mostly because of one moment leading up to the middle of the episode being entire freaking cringe.
Oh, such a shame we don't live closer to all your second cousins. You could maybe do the social with one of them instead. What is it, Big Mac? Y'all got an idea?
Yup.
So here's how this episode starts, right? So in episode 16, Applejack gets summoned to the castle and do some stuff in Manhattan. At the same time, episode 17, the two, her and Apple Bloom preparing for the Sisterhood Social, which is a thing that happened in the previous episode, the season prior. So you already know what it is. So Apple Bloom was already ready to go. She wants to do this thing with Applejack, and she claims that Applejack is like her big hero, the best sister, best sibling ever. While Big Mac was just being kind of jealous and kind of sad that Apple Bloom used to look up to Big Mac as a hero. He wants to do stuff for Apple Bloom. But now the Applejack is gone, and Apple Bloom feels bummed out. She can't attend the Sisterhood Social. And then Big Mac has a plan. he has like a hidden plan, and that is when the episode. The best way to describe it is, it was at this moment that this episode knew it effed up.
Turns out my long-lost cousin Orchard Blossom was able to make it last minute. Your cousin who what now?
Well, I do declare it's harder today than the business end of a corn cob pie.
Oh my goodness, it effed up bad. Pikmin decides to freaking cross-dress and act like this high society cousin of the Apple family, super high society female, and it's Big Mac, who at that point in time doesn't talk much, but he starts talking much. And it was not going to be until sometime next season, again, talk about next season, that kind of explains why Big Mac doesn't talk that much, but I kind of want to get to that later. Oh boy, that episode is mega cringe. Like, I rewatched it. Like, before I even did this episode, I wanted to, write down my highlights. And one of the first things I thought about mind is, oh, crud, I remember this episode. This episode's cringe. So first thing I did was put that as my least favorite episode. But then, as I, watched this episode, just say why it's cringe. I mean, I knew why it's cringe, but, which moment was the cringe? I realized at the end of the episode, now going back to my favorite moment, I think this was actually my favorite moment. If not the mayor speech. But my favorite moment in this entire season, at the end of the cringe, when the cringe ends, then, okay. I wanted to show it, but the thing is so long that I'm going to immediately striked out. So Big Mac feels super down. He realized how cringe the thing he just did. So he realized how bad, how messed up what just happened is. So he sits on a tree on a hill, bummed out because he knew that was cringe, but he kind of feels sorry for himself, and he feels bummed out that he just did that. And then Apple Bloom's there, saying, "Why did you just do that?" or something like that. And Apple Bloom's a bit bummed out too because she didn't win the social. And so Big Mac just saying, because
When you were little, you used to look up to me. Thought I was the best thing since Zap Apple Jam. Things are different now. Applejack's the hero of the Apple family. Always rushing off to save Equestria. And I'm just here on the farm, doing chores, helping out the way I can. Nothing special, nobody's hero. I guess I just thought, oh, never mind. Here I am about to start blabbering on about my feelings. You don't want to hear all this.
And then, Apple Bloom, just realizes, oh, wait, just because, just because Applejack's super important doesn't mean that Big Mac isn't.
And I know that you're always gonna be here when I need you. Heck, you'll do a whole obstacle course in high heels if you think it'll help me get something I want. You're my big brother. You've always been a hero to me, Big Mac, and you always will be. I'm real sorry I haven't been letting you know that's how I feel. Guess both of us have been holding back when it comes to expressing ourselves, huh?
Yep.
And that scene, it's heartfelt, super heartfelt. It shot me right in the feel. I was almost crying. I realized yes, it was cringe, but that episode, with Big trying to explain himself, it was super heartfelt, super hit me right in the feels, and then that just made me cry, legit. Made me cry, not full tears, cry. That's gonna be anything is really hard for me to do that, but it was super close. So I considered it my favorite moment because of context from my least favorite moment and from the beginning of the episode too. So with context from the cringe comes my favorite moment. So that's why I can't put it as my least favorite episode. Because my favorite moment and my least favorite moment are the same episode, one after another. They can't be my favorite. They can't be my least favorite episode because that's actually my favorite moment. So it naturally accentuates why Big Mac's one of my favorite characters, and even next season is even more so. So that is it for season 5 for me. So I wanted to talk more about other episodes, like for example the Griffinstone episode, how like the redemption of Gilda, maybe about the Scaremaster, how Fluttershy kind of wants to try Nightmare Night, and like the end of the episode, like how awesome, but like she ends up scaring everyone else. But I also want just, and maybe episodes about Discord, a couple episodes on Discord, but those episodes kind of make me sour because there are a lot of episodes about jealousy. I've noticed a lot of episodes about jealousy, and I'm thinking, well, if one episode of Discord, being jealous that Fluttershy brought Gladys Hippie to the gala, and another episode also about Discord that Twilight gets jealous about Discord, making easy friends with her friends, and telling jokes that they get but Twilight doesn't. I was thinking, well, why do we need that episode if that other episode exists? So, I don't know why, but it kind of makes me like Discord a lot less. Maybe ever since the whole Discord redemption, starting to like Discord less. But with other characters, like more. And unfortunately, Angel Bunny, he has his favorite moments too. Like, for example, in Scaremaster, when Fluttershy just, goes outside for a second and then Angel locks the door behind her. That was kind of funny. And like the shared dream from earlier, how like Angel turns into this giant demon monster. That was kind of cool. But I want to like Angel Bunny more, but he's so in the background. All right, one last thing I forgot. Lyra. I want to talk about Lyra for a second. Like I said about Slice of Life and how Lyra's kind of important. Now, the episode with Moondancer. Again, I forgot the name of the episode already. But if what's her name, Minuet, I think, talks about Lyra and how Lyra was once one of Twilight's older friends before episode 1. But Lyra's in Ponyville now. How the heck do they not interact? How the heck do they not realize? Oh, wait a minute, you're one of my old friends. Hey, remember me? Why did that not happen at all? Not even in this episode. Like, Lyra's not even in the episode at all, but she's mentioned a few times. There's like a photo of Lyra with the group, but Lyra's not even in the episode. But they talk about how hey, wait, Lyra's in Ponyville now. Don't you not notice she's there the whole time? Why don't you not include her more? I mean, yes, you're a bonbon now, but that doesn't excuse the thing. Like with all the other friends that Twilight used to have. Why is Lyra not even included? She went back to Ponyville and brought back Pinkie Pie for something, but she did not bring back Lyra. What the heck? That was not cool. I don't like Lyra. Lyra's cool, especially like her and all the times like her and Bon Bon, being like this big couple, including the part of the shared dream where Lyra and Bon Bon being basically cat dog and hugging over it. Cat dog. Oh my cat dog! I remember cat dog. Lyra needs to be included more. That's the point. Point is, Lyra needs to be included more, but she doesn't. She's still a background pony, even in the episode that explicitly has her, by name. That's nuts. Lyra should have been a more important character if they're gonna drop that bomb that hey, Lyra was one of the Twilight's old friends, so include her in the episode. But no, not even in season 6. He's not included. Okay, done. That's season 5. That's my thing of season 5. So, I don't know when this episode's gonna be uploaded. Hopefully at or before my 9th channelversary. Holy crap, I've been this YouTube thing for 9 years. What am I doing with my life? What the heck me? Anyway, that is all. See you guys later. I'm gonna do season 6 as soon as I can. So, bye.